Welcome everybody to look at a new 4K release from Second Sight, and it is 1979's The Brood. This is directed by David Cronenberg, who also did the likes of The Fly, but my personal favourite from him is The Dead Zone. So this is a psychological body horror film clocking in at 92 minutes long. Stars the likes of Oliver Reed, who I've seen in 15 other films, favourites from him being the likes of Gladiator, Burnt Offerings and Curse of the Werewolf. Also stars Samantha Eggar, who was also in The Collector, The Uncanny and The Molly Maguires, as well as Art Hindle, who was in two other 70s, kind of horror films in the likes of Black Christmas and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So a man tries to uncover an unconventional psychologist's therapy techniques on his institutionalized wife, while a series of brutal attacks committed by a brood of mutant children coincides with the husband's investigation. So this manages to balance the science fiction aspect and psychological horror genre really rather quite perfectly, as it manages the science aspect, makes the science aspect believable while toying with the viewer psychologically until the true horror of what is occurring is wonderfully revealed. The cast is also solid, it is well paced, the plot is intriguing, the score is superb, which is done by Howard Shore. It was only ever a second film at this point, and obviously we're going to like some Lord of the Rings and such. But yeah, this is still a great score from him early on in his career. The violence is well shot, adding to the terror, and though the body horror is kept to a minimum, when it does reveal itself, it is all the more effective due to its minimal use. So yeah, it doesn't go overboard with it, but when it happens, it's really rather quite impactful. And yeah, this is a really nice limited edition release from Second Sight. Film itself gets 4 out of 5. Not my favourite Cronenberg effort, but this release is really nicely done, as per usual from Second Sight. Quite frankly, as yeah, their limited editions are second to none in a lot of ways. So yeah, nice hard box. We also have some art cards on the go as well. So we have the new box artwork from the front as an art card, as well as the box artwork on the rear. And then we have more besides. These are generally influenced by the film. This one, for instance, is actually a shot from the film. It's just been stylized to work for this art card. These art cards got a kind of retro feel to them, and I really like how they're done. So yeah, big positive points there towards Second Sight on that front. We've also got a really rather thick booklet, as per usual. They do this quite a lot with their releases. They bring out a really rather nicely thick booklet. Again, some more of the artwork that we've already seen. So inside, you get your cast and your crew. Then we get Go All the Way Through to the End by William Beard, Loving the Children of My Rage, a personal response to David Cronenberg's Brood by Jen Adams, Of Sound, Body and Mind, the cultural context and context of the Brood by Craig Ian Mann. And we've got Playing God, Female Abjection and Male Hubris in the Brood by Shaylee Rowan Legg. Then I Discussed You Even, David Cronenberg's The Brood by Scott Wilson, Father Hunger, The Brood is a Freudian Field Day by Amber T. Swear word coming up. Fucked Up Mummies, The Fear of Motherhood in the Brood by Caroline Morissette. And then we've got Labour Pains, The Family as a Site of Horrific Production by Alexandra West. And then acknowledgements and production credits. So, yeah, lots of rights up there, talking about the film in many different ways and how people get their what what other people get from the film obviously is always going to be different to what yourself and myself. So that's really cool. And yeah, really nicely printed, really on nice thick paper, no issues there at all. And then we get the discs themselves. So we have the 4K and the Blu-ray in this release. So that's the 4K and there's the Blu-ray. And again, of the same artwork that is continuing through the release. So yeah, weirdly enough though, the Blu-ray was upside down on top of the 4K. I'm not sure why, but it hasn't been scratched or anything like that. I was just a bit surprised that it had been delivered in that manner. Obviously, it was an accident, but still surprising regardless. And yeah, on the actual discs themselves, we've got a new 4K restoration approved by the director David Cronenberg. And yeah, Dual format edition including UHD and Blu-ray with main feature and bonus features on both of the discs. So the UHD is presented in HDR with Dolby Vision. We've also got new audio commentary by Martin Conterio and Kat Ellinger, audio commentary by William Beard, who also did one of the write-ups in that booklet. Got Meet the Caravas, an interview with actors Art Hindle and Cindy Hines by Fangoria editor Chris Alexander. So Cindy Hines plays a little girl in this. I think it was her first role as well. Then we've got Producing the Brood, an interview with executive producers Pierre David. Then we've got a look of Rage, an interview with cinematographer Mark Irwin. Scoring the Brood, an interview with composer Howard Shaw. Character for Cronenberg, an interview with actor Robert A. Silverman. Anger Management, Cronenberg's Brood and the Shapes of Cinematic Rage, a video essay by Leigh Singer. And then we've got Cronenberg, the early years, an archive interview with David Cronenberg. So, yeah, whole host of extras there. Not sure which of those extras are new, outside of obviously the 4K and David Cronenberg being involved in that. We obviously had a Blu-ray release of this one before, so I'm not sure if all of those extras are new or not, but regardless, excellent looking box set, excellent looking hard box edition, limited edition as well. But yeah, that's part of the calls from Indicate Second Sight. Sorry, because obviously we had one of my absolute favorite release of last year with a Hitcher, which yeah is an even bigger hard box set, and yeah, Second Sight really do pull out all the stocks, quite frankly, to make these releases as nice as possible in terms of the physical aspects, but also in terms of the extras on the disc and the actual 4K disc itself. Because yeah, 4K wise, it looks really great. No issues at all in terms of sound or image quality, and yeah, it's clearly been just restored in the right ways rather than restored in the completely wrong ways that we've seen with some 4Ks in the past. So yeah, like I said, not Cronenberg's best as far as I'm concerned. I do prefer The Fly, The Dead Zone, um, another one of his films that has also been given release by Second Sight, which I won't mention right now because we're going to look at that at some point in the future. But yeah, still a pretty good one, and yeah, one I highly recommend if you're into your psychological horror, but also mixing in some of the body horror in there as well. Nonetheless, so thank you for watching. If you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.